Welcome to Nonprofit Stories, inspiring tales from Silicon Valley. We will explore the transformative work of nonprofit organizations and leaders who are changing our community by tackling some of the most pressing issues facing Silicon Valley. So without further ado, let's dive into this exciting conversation.
Today, we welcome DeAnna Pursai, the Executive Director of College of Adaptive Arts of Silicon Valley. College of Adaptive Arts' mission is to provide an equitable, lifelong collegiate experience to adults with disabilities who historically have not had access to a college education. Before we dive into the conversation, let's learn about the organization's great work so far.
Hi, my name is AJ and I am a student at College of Adaptive Arts. And CAA was founded in 2009 to fill a big gap. They have pioneered special higher education programs for students, just like me. The Workforce Development Program even offers the chance to train to be receptionists or teaching assistants at our college. I earn credit for hours of classroom learning that match my personal interests and goals. No homework, no tests, no stress. There's no better feeling than walking across campus to class, knowing I belong to this exciting college community. Every campus around the world should partner with CAA and make space for college students just like me. I am so proud to be a lifelong learner at the College of Adaptive Arts. Show your spirit and support CAA today.
Today, we welcome our hero, DeAnna Pursai, to share their story. Thank you, DeAnna, for taking time to be on our show today.
It's my honor and pleasure.
Can you share a brief story of your organization, especially your CNN story?
Sure. So I was a CNN hero in April of last year, and it was really a love story featuring myself and my sister.
Oh, okay.
My sister's name is Angel, and she's almost like my twin. We're about a year apart, and she's certainly much more the intelligent one than I am in most ways that matter. But because she has Down syndrome, she never had the same opportunities to go on to college after age 22 that I did. One story I love to tell is I'm from rural Indiana, and I'm the first in my family to go to college. So my mom worked at a bank, and she didn't know that she was going to be having a baby with Down syndrome, just a high school graduate. And so that morning, the warm summer morning in August of 1973, her baby was born and immediately whisked out of the delivery room. And roughly 10 minutes later, the doctor came in and shared with my parents that their baby who had just been born would never be able to walk or talk or clothe or feed herself. And the professional recommendation at the time was that she be immediately placed in an institution in Indianapolis. That was in a matter of 10 minutes. So my mom knew that there was no way that they could have done any valid medical tests within such a short period of time. So she said, could I just see my baby? And so they delivered to her a warm pink bundle back into her arms. My mom recounted that she counted 10 soft fingers, 10 soft toes, looked the doctor directly in the eye and said, thanks, but no thanks. I'll be taking my baby home. So that was how we started. That was how my family started. And my sister became a very, very integral part of our family. And she just went with us wherever. And so that was a life that I knew. And I started to realize that my sister would act quite a bit different on the outside in the community among some people in the community, rather than how she would live or she would act at home, right? Or people that she was comfortable with. And it started to really bother me because I started to perceive that she would not bring out her full self if she didn't feel safe or if she felt she was around someone that wasn't going to appreciate her. And so she would clamp up. And then I would look at this other the person, and they would be kind of the pity look on their face, like, oh, she's got a disability, she can't do anything. And it just felt like this vicious cycle that I thought, wow, this person doesn't think she has any abilities. I'm so angry at my sister for not showing what abilities she really had. And so I kind of lived in this dichotomous world where I would see her on the inside of our homes just doing brilliant things, just being her normal self. And then I saw, I could perceive how she could navigate and really change based on who she was engaging with. And I found that very intriguing. And I grew up to be a special education teacher by trade. And so I've always really had this desire and passion to showcase the innate abilities that we all have if we feel safe and comfortable showcasing these and sharing them with others.
Thank you so much for sharing that story
absolutely.
with us. Can you please share one or two life-changing stories of your organization?
Absolutely. We started with, so I'm a school teacher and my business partner is an actress, and we both have loved ones in our families who have differing abilities that we've seen age out. And we got together and we just realized that we just had a lot in common. We really enjoyed being with each other. And we said, wow, you know, we really love the arts, and what if we started a college for adults who haven't had access, and let's just see. And Dr. Pam said, okay, let's do it. And so that's how we just kind of jumped into this world. I was involved in an organization back in Indiana where it was aligned with a university at the time. But I'm not from this area, so I had approached some universities, and there was some interest, but I was working full-time as a school teacher and realized that, wow, this is going to take a lot of relationship building and bandwidth, so we decided to start our own nonprofit. So we did all the paperwork, we got it started, we advertised, we talked, and we opened our doors on the first day, and nobody showed up. In 2009. And Dr. Pam, who's my business partner, like hope springs eternal. She always has a positive spin. She just is this being of hope and joy and optimism and positive mindset. She's like, okay, no problem. We're just going to call this a teacher work day, and we're going to do this. And so we ended up having 12 adults that first 2009 summer musical theater workshop. And so that was kind of pivotal. Fast forward to today, we're serving 216 adults in over 9 states, in person and online. So that was really pivotal. Organizationally as well, we had lost our sight in 2020 because the benevolent businessman had to sell, and we were just paying pennies on a dollar at that time. We didn't know where we were going to go. Some of my friends in Rotary actually had introduced us to the leadership at West Valley College, and they came through on a tour and saw the classes that were happening at our old site. And we had adaptive guitar and musical theater and reading and writing and songwriting and communications classes, sign language. And they're like, wow, we had no idea that this was a college model for adults who historically haven't had access. And so the leadership voted unanimously to allow us to rent space on their college campus. And so that was another really, really pivotal moment that, wow, we're going to be on a real college campus, just like, you know, these adults have seen their brothers and sisters and cousins go off to college, and now they're going to get to learn on a real college campus. So that was just another story. There's so many stories of the students. Our professors of our school, we have 40 of the most outstanding teachers and professors, many of whom also have differing abilities. So one of our visions is to hire persons with complex backgrounds who historically haven't had been real successful in traditional job workforce settings. They are doing an outstanding job at our school. So many stories, and we've started to hire our own students onto our staff. So sometimes they're learning as students, other times they are assisting in classrooms as W-2 employees. We're so rich in stories. I could just be here forever. Our first valedictorian, she's amazing. She was such an ambassador to our school. She was fiery and fierce, and she loved sign language, and she happened to have Down syndrome. She had a trach. She had maybe 60 some surgeries in her lifetime. And we knew early on in 2009 that we didn't want a day program. We wanted something of value, a different value proposition than the traditional day program. So they earned credit. And how you earned credit at our school is you show up and you have a desire to learn, you get full credit. You get full credit. And so that's pretty pivotal for adults who typically are like, oh, I can't keep up with this test score, or I can't read well enough, or, So they got full credit. So we had our first graduation ceremony in 2012. And she happened to have Down syndrome. She was our first valedictorian. Her name was Kim Raines. We lost her in 2019 to cancer. She always wanted to have her own ministry. And I think in a lot of ways, she really fulfilled that dream because she's still with us and her pictures are up, and she represented how intellectual you can be still having a disability and not fitting in the traditional college box. But oh my gosh, so vibrant, so engaging. And so that's their story. I'll tell you one more, if that's okay. This is one of our new students. He's amazing. I think his sister lives in New York City, and I talked to her on the phone, and he is just such a sweetheart, and he looks typical. You just never know when you get the new students, and he's 41 years old, and he has been such a delight, just such a breath of fresh air. It's like, how did we ever run the school without him? He just he just fills the room with his joy. So he knocked on the door yesterday and gave me this picture, and it says College of Adaptive Arts, and we have an arts model at our school that everyone must follow. It's kind of our expectations and guidelines, which is attitude, respect, trust, and support. So it's arts, like College of Adaptive Arts. And he said, Deanna and Dr. Pam, thanks for let me be a part of CAA Classroom. I really enjoy my life. I am continue to take fun class with all professor and teacher. I love to make new friends at CAA students.
That's so great.
Yeah. And I was just blown away because he's so grateful. And that's the one thing that our adults have in common is they want to be at this college. And so because we have structured it, like we have 72 course offerings, just sign up for what you want to take. And if you're not interested in computer coding, we're not going to make you take computer coding. So each hour, it's almost like a new group of students each hour because it's different classes all through, and it's like a big party. It's amazing. I typically say we can compete with Disney for the happiest place on earth because we have happy students, and that allows the parents and care providers who we love to have them stay and hang out. There's a parent waiting area, thanks in part to the Rotary Club of San Jose, who helped build this observation deck. And they're happy because their adults are happy. And the professors, these are also adults that have had not easy lives. And they're given the integrity that, I have something to share with my students. So we say, no, they're not teachers, they're professors because we're all adults. And so we're just trying to build this community of learning and expression and creativity and collaboration and building lifelong friendships.
Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home from TradeMyHome.com, powered by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. We provide upfront written offers at a price agreeable to you. Experience a guaranteed sell with a hassle-free, highest and best price sell within your time frame. Are you selling your home in the next 3 to 6 months? Text PAIR to 408-740-7400 for a free and no obligation professional equity appraisal report. Exclusively for Nonprofit Stories podcast viewers. For more information, visit TradeMyHome.com or call 408-740-7400. Remember, at trademyhome.com, your home is sold guaranteed or we'll buy it.
Can you please share some of the difficulties you face and how your team overcome them?
Sure. We're a nonprofit in the Bay Area. Certainly always funding is a challenge. And along with that, it's the messaging and the marketing. And so that's something that we've really been intentionally working on, like, aren't there already programs for adults with disabilities? And to try to get us kind of out of that box into, well, actually, this is kind of lifelong learning for adults that haven't had access. And so that's a big challenge. We have an awesome team of leaders internally. We just have been able to hire on some amazing managers for the first time ever after 14 years. We huddle regularly. We listen to all good ideas. So our staff huddles, our managers huddle, and then our board. We have a lovely board, an executive team, and we call ourselves mountain movers, because kind of in our world, I say, in the special needs world, ground zero typically is, no, you can't do that, you have a disability. That doesn't faze us a whole lot because that's all we've ever heard. And so it's just really fun to get those small wins just to see how far we can take it. We have a really clear vision and mission, and everything we do needs to align with that vision and mission. We listen as a team internally to all good ideas from anywhere. We're constantly gathering feedback from our stakeholders about what do you want to see, how can we do better, what are just best practices. But yeah, I'd say some challenges certainly is the fundraising challenge. We are not in a traditional funding stream within the world of adults with special needs, because we're not a day program, and because we finally have found a category, but our reimbursement is not at the same level. So we're still not fully sustainable operationally, and so it's a tremendous challenge. But I know that we're going to figure it out, because we have for the last 14 years, and if we're listening to the families and the students, it all is going to work out.
What is your vision for the organization for next 3 to 5 years?
Next coming 3 to 5 years is we would like to show that this model can become sustainable. So we want to become fully sustainable on the campus of West Valley College. We want to continue to build vibrant collaborative partnerships with the different departments on West Valley College, and to become an integral part of their service learning opportunities at West Valley. They're just developing a democracy institute, and so we would like to be an integral partner. And so 3 to 5 years, we want to become sustainable and just continue to build relationships at West Valley. The other 3 to 5 year goal is workforce development. So we're really leaning into, we've always hired adults with disabilities, and we have 6 or 7 of our own adults with intellectual disabilities on our staff. We need to get more strategic in aligning with funding streams that are focused on workforce development, specifically targeting adults with disabilities, because traditionally the vocational opportunities have been more in the traditional workforce, menial labor, positions where you're cleaning tables or you're bagging groceries or you're picking up trash. We're much more excited in getting opportunities for these adults to be classroom assistants, to be receptionists, to be our graphic designers, and on our marketing team to help us maybe open a small business right on our school's campus to serve our people. So, an entrepreneurial skill. So that's very, very, very exciting. We're going to figure it out. Long term, I'd love to talk even more, is we would like to become the Special Olympics model for lifelong learning. So if you happen to have a loved one with special needs, wherever you move around the world, you can fairly much be assured that you can plug in to a Special Olympics infrastructure, which serves adults for athletic opportunities on a regular basis, never kick you out, different sports each season. There is no parallel infrastructure right now for lifelong learning. That is our long-term vision, is to show how this model could be situated and positioned on every campus of higher learning around the world to be a value program to the community, to the higher education institution and the community at large, and then our adults are going to have a safe place to learn at their own pace and rate as long as they have an interest. That's a long-term vision.
What key strategies have played a crucial role in the success of your organization?
Key lessons and strategies for the success. I think being vulnerable is really a big one, and just being open to all good ideas wherever they are, listening to stakeholders, listening to each other, holding each other accountable, just trying to build that healthy team. This has never been done before, and it's exciting, and it's scary, and it's terrifying. But we do a good job of keeping that growth mindset of, hey, have we tried this? Why don't we try this? We're going to try this. That solution, we're going to pivot. So, one of the benefits kind of being a very outlying grassroots charity is you do have the ability to pivot pretty quickly. And I think we've used that to our advantage. And we love when like-minded community members lean in, and our donor base is growing, our volunteer base is growing, and it's just tremendously exciting to just continue to cultivate community relationships and listen, and having that North Star guiding vision and mission. Everything we do is crafted around our vision and mission. And there's so much out of our control, particularly in the Valley. Things are always so fluid. And we always tell everyone in our community, do what's in your sphere of control, the most excellent that you can do, and everything else is going to work out.
So Deanna, thank you so much for sharing all the inspiring stories with us. And we are really very grateful for all the great work you, your team, and your partners are doing for all of us. And again, thank you so much for taking time, and let's stay in touch.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
It's time for our trivia question to win prizes. This section is hosted by our AI host, Kay.
Hi, this is Kay from TradeMyHome.com, powered by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Your home sold guaranteed, or we'll buy it. Here is our NPS trivia question. This nonprofit organization has provided over 1 billion meals to hungry children worldwide. And your options are: World Food Program, Save the Children, or Feeding America. Again, your options are World Food Program, Save the Children, or Feeding America. Winners will get a $25 Amazon gift card and recognition in our next episode. Submit your entry on our website, nonprofitstories.trademyhome.com, or by scanning the QR code on the screen. Only the top 3 correct entries will win.
Thank you for listening to the podcast and acknowledging the impactful work of nonprofits in Silicon Valley. Thank you to our sponsor, TradeMyHome.com, for their community commitment and for making this podcast possible. Please share this episode with a friend, subscribe, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts at Nonprofit Stories. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nonprofit Stories.